I didn't have an intro for this one. Things that are underrated. Let's go. I get a lot of talk about how things are just overrated, or that how that's held in too much regard. Like, for example, Drake's overrated because of his high amount of success yet lack of quality. Or some things like, Patrick Beverley's an overrated defender because he doesn't stop everyone consistently every drive, despite the fact that he's 6'1" and is bulked up like a goddamn machine. I love Patrick Beverley. Like, beefsteak isn't as good as compared to pork steak. Beefsteak is quite overrated. To both of those opinions, one of them is wrong. But yeah, we need a bit more positive energy in the world. We need a bit more plus than the negative today, especially in the current year. Let me get the visual effect for it. There we go. Give me a sec. There we go. I'm gonna hate myself after I edit that in. But anyway, here are just five things that are just underrated. Let's go. Oh, and by the way, Wi-Fi, just because I already have the animations for 5 and I'm not bothered to make the rest for like 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10. Waking up early. Yes, I know. A crime. Because, I know everyone likes to get that 6 hours of sleep from about 4 a.m. to 10 o'clock, and I know it's beautiful. I've done it as well. But I don't know, there's something really fulfilling about having 10 hours of sleep by going to sleep at about like 11, waking up at 9, but that's functional for me. Or even like just getting 8 hours of sleep and going to bed at 11 and waking up at 7. It's just... No, sorry, I mean at 8. Wait. I'm shit at maths. What I mean to say is, waking up early, yeah, it's alright. Not too bad. There's just something so fulfilling about knowing you have the full day ahead of you without knowing you didn't waste anything. You may have missed some things, but it's better because you can catch up on them now and then move on to the day that you have now, rather than reminiscing on the previous one that you sort of wasted in bed for like the last 2 hours of scrolling through a page where no one else is active besides you and probably that one guy who like studies for uni like really late. You know who you are. Pointing is very hard from a camera perspective. Yeah, I find having a normal sleep schedule in general is actually just like really good. Let's talk about something that is, to me, criminally underrated. Not in an illegal sense, but I mean in that no one loves it that much. As much as me, at least. Eating at the dinner table. Yeah, I know, very weird. A very niche thing, very white thing of me to say, but let me elaborate. There's something really wholesome about just being at a table and just constantly doing nothing but talking with each other. No sort of distractions. I know my boomer is showing me, I just feel him coming out and just trying to tear his way from me. But I really do like it. Just some of the conversations, jokes, and segues I've had at family dinners or just dinners at the table have been awfully pleasant. Mostly just discussing memories from my childhood, which are secretly extremely fucked up now that I think about them, or just random jokes that we all remember that are just really stupid, but they're just like the greatest thing ever. And I don't know, there's something about being in front of a TV or, just eating dinner in some other places that just doesn't compare to that. Like, or if you're at a restaurant because there's other people there, you feel a bit more open. I gotta get that. Black Dynamite.
This is a certified hood classic.
Black Dynamite is just a great film. One of the funniest, most well-written, great satires of the 2010s that nobody, I'm just kidding, a lot of people appreciate it, but I feel like not enough people watch it. And if they do watch it, not people many get it. There's so many goddamn quotables and all the errors are just, they're just wonderful. For example, just my favorite line is, I don't know why, it's so funny. Just Black Dynamite comes into this room full of pimps and he just declares, I'm starting a war on anyone selling drugs to the community. And then just one of the pimps out of nowhere just like,
but Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
Watch Black Dynamite. Now, this is coming from a place that people may find controversial, but I find Marshall Mathers LP too, to be quite underrated. As you can see, I am cultured enough to own such a thing on vinyl, of course. This was, to me, a cap off of Eminem's career and his best goddamn work. Yes, that's right, I said best work. Come at me, I'm not ready for you. It's like 9 subscribers, enough of them to outnumber me, so I'm pretty much screwed, but I will fight to the death. Okay, no I won't, I just examined the reasons why I wouldn't do that, because, you know, them versus me, not gonna go down well. But yeah, I just gotta say that's how it is.
But why though? Why?
Explain your reasons, sir.
Oh, I have to explain my reasons. Shit. Okay.
For most, it's where Eminem's rock instrumentals are probably at some of their best in his later stages of his career. The instrumentals are extremely experimental for something that Eminem was doing at the time, and they don't get any more experimental than that throughout the rest of his career now. And even though everything is actually quite fine now with his recent album related to Music to be Murdered to, I'd say that this is the pinnacle of it working at its full best. And Eminem's technical rapping is at its prime, and he sounds the most confident he's been since the Slim Shady LP, or even the Eminem Show, to be more precise. And everything about Eminem is just good in this, and the features are great, especially the Kendrick feature, even though one line will always disturb me for the rest of my life. I'm not getting into it.
Think that you are better now.
Honorable mentions, I'd have to say Rich Brian, not only as a rapper, but as a person. The dude is hilarious, and he needs more and more love. A year ago, I would have put Lil Nas X as a person and musician, but I feel like people have actually begun to love him a bit more, so, you know, I'd say props to him. Keanu Reeves, you can't put here anymore because he's just great and everyone loves him and I love him as well and I want him to have my children, blah, 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 the usual stuff about him. Yeah, I would put Anderson .Paak here, but the man is a millionaire, so, he's still underrated by all means, but, you know, it's not like on a disgustingly, he's like robbed of his money underrated. Which is, I know, a very stupid thing to do, but I can be stupid at times.
And it's just a ghost.
And number 1, for most underrated things, we have Billie Eilish. That's right, Billie Eilish. Give a hand to Billie Eilish. She doesn't get enough love in the world, and everyone should bow down to the greatest artist of all time who writes all of her songs all by herself, plays all the instruments, just so talented, so wickedly beautiful, and just very powerful, truly strong. I'm kidding, by the way. Not that she is a little overrated. She's like one of the most successful musicians now. But like, you know, this joke makes me look very #cancelled in 2030.
I had no chance to prepare.
Now, the real number 1 for most underrated things, I'm going to have to give it to staffies. These fine, majestic, beautiful, thick boy creatures have been blessing this universe for a certain amount of time. I'll probably put it up here because I'm too lazy to research it now, and because all my videos are in one take. But nonetheless, my editing later will be very strenuous because of me. I will say that it is just, they are beautiful, wonderful creatures, kind, and oh so adorable. Those are the kinds of dogs that look both adorable with a smile and when they're like, you know, just in resting doggo face. And even though people are becoming more and more inclined to buying French bulldogs, so many of them just because they watch Lilo and Stitch as children, I will always have a place in my heart for the big boys who don't get enough love from peoples. Because truly, dogs, I see.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Thanks for watching. Adios.